The United States has, for the first time, and this is among the many firsts in this election, elected a president with criminal cases hanging over him, 4 of them. In one of these, he has been convicted and he was still voted in, and it doesn't look like these cases are going to come back to haunt his presidency or to damage him while he remains the president. In the first of these cases where he was convicted on 34 felony counts, and that's the New York hush money case for passing off payment to the adult film star Stormy Daniels as election expense. That's a felony conviction, and a felony charge usually carries imprisonment of a year or more, as the law strictly goes. In this case, it could be 4 years. The sentencing is due on November the 26th. The possibility of a jail sentence for Trump in this case appears largely theoretical. The hearing may be delayed, it's likely to be. A jail sentence may not be passed. When it does come up, if it does come up, it would no doubt be challenged strongly by Trump's lawyers. In the second case, Trump faces criminal charges in the case of the rioting at Capitol Hill, that was in Washington DC here on January the 6th of 2021. That was over attempts to overturn the election result that then brought in Joe Biden into government as president. This case, the prosecution of it, was overseen by Special Prosecutor Jack Smith, and it hasn't moved. And that's after the Supreme Court ruled that a former president was to an extent immune from prosecution. The Supreme Court said that there is more to consider here, but that was never scheduled before the election. Now it seems clearly too late. After the election, a sitting president would then have to order the Department of Justice under his charge to then prosecute him. How likely is that? Trump has said he would fire Jack Smith within 2 seconds of assuming office. So let's watch out for those 2 seconds on January the 20th next year. That's when Trump assumes office. Trump is unlikely to appoint another prosecutor to continue where Smith left off. A third case that Smith has also started to prosecute against Trump relates to the discovery of the classified documents at Trump's house in Mar-a-Lago in Florida. These were in his possession as president. They were found in his house. He was further accused of blocking Department of Justice officials who visited to retrieve those documents. The judge in that case, Eileen Cannon, dismissed that case in July. She accepted an argument by Trump's lawyers that the very appointment of Jack Smith as a special prosecutor was improper. Eileen Connolly, the judge, was appointed earlier by Trump. So Trump has played all sorts of cards right. They clearly are delivering a good deal for him, presidency itself. Smith has appealed against that order, but again, who would take the decision to prosecute Trump? Trump himself. The fourth of these cases also arises over efforts to overturn the 2020 election results, this time in Georgia state. This case has been delayed over a very unusual development, and it was delayed after arguments by Trump's lawyers that prosecutor Fani Willis had an improper relationship with an attorney that she hired in this case. An appeals court is considering now whether Fani Willis should stay on the case, but all this has taken as long as it has, and it does appear too late to consider that now. Trump is on strong ground to argue then that this will have to wait until after he ceases to be president, in which scenario, should that ever come to pass at all, it really won't matter very much what happens to this or the other cases really against him. It's hard to tell sometimes whether Trump has been smart or just lucky. Strong cases, all of them, but voters did not care, nor have the courts.